The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
It is quite unusual for a first program on a project to be underground. For one thing, many projects don't have underground access like we do. And so that's been quite significant. And because of the previous activity there, it was in production 35 years ago. So it's been a while.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Robert Archer, the CEO of Pinnacle Silver and Gold. Robert, very good to speak with you. You're about to start Pinnacle's first drill program at El Potrero, and it's underground rather than surface drilling. Why is that significant, and what does it tell investors about the stage of this project?
Yeah. Hi, Stephen. Great to be back on the show. And it is quite unusual for a first program on a project to be underground. For one thing, many projects don't have underground access like we do. And so that's been quite significant. And because of the previous activity there, it was in production 35 years ago. So it's been a while. But having those underground workings provides us access right into the mineralized zone. We do have immediate access to that. However, the underground workings are somewhat limited, in terms of their extent. And you can really only sample what's exposed along the walls and maybe on the ceiling. And so we don't know what lies beyond that. And that's where the drilling really comes into play, to drill beyond the underground workings to give us a better sense of size and grade distribution and the shape of the mineralized zones.
Robert, sampling so far has returned very high gold and silver grades. What are the key questions this drilling is designed to answer that sampling can't?
Well, yeah, again, it's that extent of the mineralization. We have seen a fair bit of grade variability. I don't like to use the word nugget effect because we're not seeing coarse gold or anything like that, but it is within a breccia zone, and breccias are somewhat inconsistent in their texture and content. So there's been a decent variability in the grades. So we'd like to get a better understanding of the grade distribution, and that will obviously help with mining going forward, because you want to be able to blend the high grade and the low grade such that you have a fairly consistent grade going to the plant. It's all of those things. It's grade distribution, it's the size and shape of the mineralized zones that the underground workings, because of their limited extent, just don't give us that information.
You've described this as more delineation than exploration drilling. What would a successful outcome from the 112 hole program look like in practical terms?
Well, it should delineate the three zones that we know of within those three mines. And, having said that, we don't know what lies in between those three mines. There's about 120 meters between two of them, and another 150 meters left unexplored on the other side. And so those sections will have to be drilled from surface, but the underground drilling should give us enough of an understanding that we can start to put together a preliminary mine plan and determine things like head grade and how we're going to approach this from a technical standpoint, from a mining standpoint.
And once the program is complete, what are the next technical and corporate milestones investors should be watching for as we head into 2026?
The surface drill program will follow the underground program, so that will be more geared towards exploration, looking for new zones in between the existing mine workings, and drilling some of the other veins like El Capulín and La Estrella, which have never been drilled at all before. Mind you, neither has the Dos de Mayo, but these are new veins that we don't really know a lot about. So that will be more exploration drilling and trying to target some of these high grade mineralized zones that we've been sampling them on surface, so we know there's mineralization there. It's just a question again of the extent and continuity and grade.
Robert, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Okay, thanks very much, Stephen.
Robert Archer, the CEO of Pinnacle Silver and Gold.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.